All right. Well, we're back here for the second session here of the hot market system. Now we're going to talk about conversational prospecting. And so, Curtis, thanks again for being on with us. Go ahead and take it away, my friend.
I will, and we'll make this simple. So the assumption, obviously, is you have been through part one. If you've not, most of this is going to, well, not most. This will make sense, but you're going to be hampered. So if you've not been through the first part, then stop here. Don't watch this. Go back and watch the first part, which is about hot market and hot market consumer development. Then come back and watch this, because we're actually going to use the exact same diagram we've already started. So let's do that. Let's just dig right in, because we've laid the foundation in the first one. So this is exactly where we ended. I'm going to erase some stuff because this really applied to the first conversation, so we don't need that here anymore. So let me get rid of all this. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to move into the second part, how you take hot market success, if you've done it properly, and how you take that into proper prospecting through what we call conversational prospecting versus presentational prospecting. Okay. Really don't need any of this. Might use some of this space a little bit later. There we go. Okay. All right. So as we said, network marketing done properly is not about selling. Oops, let me get my mouse to my pen. It's not about selling. It's about giving people a choice. And hot market is about allowing people to choose from a consumer level, becoming consumers that could potentially, through product experience, become long-term customers of yours. And you're going to, I think, because of the magic of the types of products, the product mentality of Modere, you know, with all the different areas, all the different concepts, you know, weight loss, health, all these other things, in addition to just you know, typical personal care like the shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, mouthwash that we're talking about as part of the hot market choice, that once you have created consumers through an initial set of products, what you do is you start to create brand loyalty, because they help you because they trust and love you. They experience the product. They now trust and love the product. Then exposing them to a catalog is simple. So to expand the volume purchase base of that consumer base is a simple thing to do. But most importantly, as we said, you have a story, and the most important story is not that, gee, I'm a multi-million-dollar earner. Those are absurd stories to spend much time sharing in network marketing. Remember, everything we design is based upon what is a brand new person who has never done network marketing before. What do we need to create for them? And, you know, knowing that there's somebody out there making big money, hey, that's great. But the reality is, what the heck does that have to do with them? Because we all need to understand that what we do, it's not, we don't really, the problem is if we try to get people, if we try to sell people, if we try to manipulate people, that only works when you are present. The minute you turn around, they unsell, they unmanipulate, they unget themselves, because it's voluntary. You're not getting an employee who does what you tell them it has to. You are trying to attract a partner, a team partner, a business partner, a brand partner. The Modere, they're partnering with you in the effort of spreading the Modere brand and the Modere Opportunity brand and finding like-minded people. In other words, hot market is giving people a choice of trying a product to be a consumer and support you because they love you. Now we need to move to prospecting. We're going to move to conversational prospecting next. You know, my writing is terrible to begin with, but then you stick a pen tablet. Trust me, it only has an opportunity to get worse. So now we're going to move back to the beginning of the timeline, because I want to take this new person. So we're going to take this new person who started, they enrolled here, and we're going to show you what should have been, if it was done properly, what should or it would have been the process that took them from when they were first prospected to when they chose to enroll. Because we've already shown, so we kind of started in the middle. We've shown when they enroll, how to get from phase 1 to phase 2 of business. Now we want to get to phase 3, which is profit for them. So this is the new person. They started with phase 1, which is the expense of business, phase 2 of business, break even. The hot market did that really quickly. Now they moved the product, so now they have a success story, personal success story, and the most important story, brand new, never done network marketing before partners. And it's not the big dollar income of the few who've chosen to walk that path all the way to the top. It's the, what did everybody do in their first couple of days or in their first few hours that created success? That's a much more powerful story to prospect with. And the telling of that story leads directly into the third phase of business, which is what everybody came for, and that's to develop a profitable business that might over time grow to where it changes somebody's life. So let's kind of go through this for a second and show you how this lays out. Here's where people misunderstand. Network marketing is not network, as we said in the first section, it's not network salesing or network selling, it's network marketing. But you do have to understand, you know, that's why we start. It's about, this may sound crazy, so everybody kind of make sure you get a grip on the chair so you don't fall out. It's about marketing to your network. Wow, how about that? But there's also that first word, network. We need to put the emphasis on the second part. It is work. If you want to go to the top, it is really hard work to get to the top. You know, I've had a lot of people say it seems like a very small percentage of people go all the way to the top in network marketing, and most people don't. I said, yes, but did you know that at $100,000 a year in gross annual income in the United States, you're in the top 3% of the income earners in the United States? Now, I didn't say, I mean, let's jot that down for a second. At $100,000 a year, okay? Now, everybody likes to talk about being a millionaire. Okay, that would take 10 years. If you take the first 20 years, this is around about 22 years if you go through university, let's just say 20 years. Take the first couple of decades of somebody's life and throw it away, because that's in the traditional world. You got to learn first, do second. So you've spent the first 20 years learning something. Now, if you look at statistical age averages, you basically got about 5 more decades, maybe 5.5, you know, average age expectancy. So 10 years, you're talking about 20% of your entire productive life on the planet Earth to gross the $1 million. And yet at just $100,000 a year, you're in the top 3%. Now, I didn't say network marketing. I don't care how you make it. I don't care if you are an executive. I don't care if you got a small business. I don't care if you clean pools. Just move to Beverly Hills and clean very rich people's pools, because you can charge absurd amounts of money, because rich people think it's the more you spend, the better it is. But whatever you did, you know, whatever you did to make $100,000, you're in the top 3%. Network marketing follows these numbers. Everything follows these numbers. You know, Coca-Cola, the CEO makes more than anybody, and you take all the top executives, they're probably 0.5% or 1/4% or 1/10% of the total number of Coca-Cola employees, and they make monstrously the largest percentage of the entire income of all the operators, daily operational people of Coca-Cola. That's everything. That's life. Why? Only a very small elite percentage of people will ever put in the extraordinarily hard work over an extended period of time it takes to achieve elite result. The masses of people put in a little bit of effort, they didn't win the lottery, and they walk away. That's okay. That was their choice. You can choose to go to university, you can choose to get graduate degrees, you can choose to get or undergraduate degrees, you can choose to get graduate degrees, you can choose to get PhDs, you can choose to work hard, you can choose not to. So just understand, network marketing is no different. Here's its greatest difference in terms of percentage of people who choose. The difference is this. If you want to become the CEO of Coke, that's an elitist opportunity. That is an exclusive opportunity. It's an opportunity of exclusion. And it is very complicated. It's an extremely complicated place to go. A neurosurgeon, a massive amount of hard work over a very long period of time, and it is massively complicated. Network marketing, you want to go to the very top, it's hard work over an extended period of time, and it's tremendously simple, amazingly simple. It is literally, here's the problem in network marketing, it is unbelievably simple. That's the problem. People just don't believe that it's as simple as it is. But it is actually so simple, it is truly irrelevant who you are. You can be, you know, you don't need any formula. You can go drop out of school after 2nd grade, and you can become a multi-million-dollar earner in network marketing. You can be a PhD and make no money. And you can be the opposite. You could never finish 2nd grade and never make any money in network marketing. You can be a PhD and make millions. The similarity between those who reached the top, they did the hard work, but they kept it simple. And it was the compounding of simple effort. That's why it is my true belief that network marketing is the single most fair, and the most powerful platform in the world for the most number of people worldwide who choose to do the work. It is the most inclusionary method in the planet for people to be able to change their lives. We will include anybody. We have people at the top who are tall, short, fat, thin, male, female, every religious choice on the planet, every political choice on the planet, every ethnicity, every language, every country, everything. We don't care what your background is. We don't care what your criminal record is. We don't care what your educational level. We don't care. We only care what you choose to do today and ongoing. So it's entirely in your power. Network marketing is the least pyramid. The corporate world is such a pyramid. It is mind-numbingly pyramidish. You know, the one guy at the top makes all the, or the one woman at the top makes all the money, and nobody stands a chance of getting there. In network marketing, anybody who does the work is allowed to come to the top. So it is the most inclusionary. But here's where people get it wrong. They complicate it up. They think that it's about selling simply because there was a product or service exchange for money transaction. Well, that's how everything works in the world. But it's not about selling. Here's what it is. If you want to be good at sales, you have to be good at presentation. And that's why the natural human instinct by the age of 18, since everything we've been taught by 18 is you learn, you go to school and you learn first, do second. People think, that's why you have so many people who enroll and they say, well, before I talk to anybody, I need to learn all about the product, and I need to understand the comp plan, and then I can talk to people. Why? Because there is another, and I suddenly realized there was one thing I forgot. I wasn't going to go back here, but I'm going to have to. Okay? This is the fundamental laws of human behavior. There was one fundamental law of human behavior I forgot to include, guys, and that is the fifth one. The reason you need to develop things, by this won't make, you haven't seen this first part, so I'm not going to go through it, but that's okay. This was the first part, and so now you'll go back to the first part, it'll make sense. The fifth one I forgot is the reason that you need to be able to create an action that requires no training and operates on instinct. One of the fifth things, most powerful things of human behavior, people do not like to look stupid. They don't want to look incapable. They don't want to look ignorant and ill-informed. They don't want to look stupid. And if you put people in a position where that could happen, it's going to fail. They will not tolerate it. It's just not going to work. They will not move forward. They will freeze. And so the reason that people are saying, well, before I can talk to anybody, before I can begin, before I can go into action, I need to learn because I have to know. Because if I know, then when I go into action, I won't look silly. When in fact, the proper hot market action, you don't have to know any of those things, because when you go back and review it, it didn't depend on my extensive knowledge. It was an action based on a relationship that has already existed for a long period of time, and I didn't ask them to evaluate the science and the specifics of a product that I don't understand. I asked them to do me a solid and help me start a business, and I left it to them to choose. So I don't have to know anything about the product to be successful. I need to know I need to know one sentence of basic things, because I want their experience to educate them, not my knowledge. When you talk about when you go into prospecting, you don't have to understand the compensation model, because it's not your job. Network marketing done properly, you should not be presenting. You will never present that which you don't know, because network marketing is not about selling. It's not about presentation. It's about conversation. And I mean literally, seriously, a truly properly focused on them, not you. See, the reason people think they want to know everything, they need to learn everything, is they think they need to be interesting. Okay? Because salespeople are interesting. That's how they're able to sell really well, because they know their stuff so well. They are doing a presentation that feels like a conversation, and they can be interesting because they studied so hard. That's not network marketing. If we make people do that much work before they get started, it'll never happen. The reason it's about conversation, network marketing done right, you aren't trying to be interesting, you're supposed to be interested. Because it's not about you, them. When you start to do network marketing focused, I mean truly, pure heart, servant heart, focused on them, no agenda, no desire to go pitch the product, no desire to go pitch the plan, and you learn if you learn how to have a conversation completely interested in the other person as a human being, because I truly want to know who you are, where you are, what your deepest wishes and hopes are, and what your greatest, dissatisfactions and what things you despise about the situation you're in. I want to know that. In other words, the great networkers are masters of conversation that involve asking questions, because only through asking questions can you truly learn, and you'll only learn if after asking you truly listen. Then it becomes entirely about them. Because if you understand where someone really is and what their deepest desires are and their greatest dissatisfactions, then it is very possible that you may already know stories of people who have faced, because we're all human. We all have the same human condition. It's natural human behavior. We've all been there. And most of us still are there in one way or another in some areas of our life. And then by being able to share stories of others who have been where they are and what has been able to happen, then you can suddenly get them to relate, and they go, hang on a minute. Here's what it comes down to. It's what we call asking the big three. If you want to step back a second, here's the reality. Most people are where they are for two reasons. One, it's their comfort zone. If you want to do bigger things and get to bigger places, you have to expand your comfort zone. You are where you are, and just know this: you're responsible for where you are. Life didn't poop on you, and it wasn't because so and so or something. You are where you are because it's your responsibility. You're why you're there. And it's because of the choices you've made, and you've simply not chosen to expand your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, where you are, is because that's as far as your comfort zone will allow you to be. And I don't care if you're a superstar or multi-million-dollar stockbroker, then that's as far as you've been able to get, because that's as far as your comfort zone went. And you're not yet but you've not achieved the Warren Buffett global philanthropist and investor level, because your comfort zone is not as big as his. It just hasn't gotten there. So if you're literally a single mom struggling, then I'm not being cold, but I'm saying you deserve it more than anything else, but you have to earn it, and you've got to expand your comfort zone. And so, but for many people, it's because there needs to be just a trigger, because sometimes their uncertainty or their fear is just greater than they can overcome by themselves. And if someone would just come along interested in them, because most people in life, they really aren't interested in you. I mean, it's really about me. I'm interested in me. Yeah, I'm interested in you if I can fit you in, because I've got my own fears and uncertainties. So I'll fit as much of you in as I can comfortably, but I'm really focusing most on me. When someone comes along who is focused on them, is truly interested, engages in real conversation, because conversation creates connection and creates relationship. And that's why network marketing is often called relationship marketing. Done properly, that's what it is. I'm creating relationships that could last a lifetime of people who are becoming brand partners and team partners, because together we're going to the top, because I can't get there by myself anyway. Understand, here's what it is. If you want to make a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money that is generational, life-changing wealth for you and the future generations of those you love and care about, you're going to need a gigantic team. Gigantic team means there's a lot of people. Therefore, where people make a mistake, they think, first of all, they're in the business of getting people. You're not in the business of getting people. You're in the business of attracting people. But they think because they need a really big team, they're in the business of attracting a lot of people. And you're not. You're in the business of attracting the right people. Here's the problem. You can't attract the right person ever, because the right person is the person who long after, not a couple of days, long after they've enrolled, has proven by their actions, not their words that they tell you before they enroll, but the actions that they show you long after they've enrolled, that they're the right person. In other words, the right person is the person who earned that status. You're in the business of attracting the potentially right person. Who is potentially the right person? Well, you only know who that is if you ask questions and listen. And the reason that's important is all great leaders, all top-tier leaders, or top-tier income earners in network marketing, let me tell you the business they're in, because that's where some people misunderstand. They're in the business of saving time. The top earners in Modere are not in the Modere business, not in the business of moving Modere products, not in business of social marketing. They're business of saving time. Why? We are all born here. We're all going to die here. And we're all somewhere in the middle. Period. Money is circular. You can make money. You can lose it. Tough. Get up, man up, woman up, and go make some again. That's money circular. Time is linear. It goes one direction. Every single minute gone is closer to death. It's a part of your life. It's in your record, but you're done with it. And therefore, time is life. Therefore, if I truly want to change as many people's lives as possible, including those of my loved ones, I don't have time to waste. Why would you want to spend time talking about a product or a compensation plan with someone or model if they're not potentially the right person? You want to not speak to anybody about anything until you first identified if they're potentially the right person. You can only identify if someone's potentially the right person by connecting to them, having conversation because you're interested in them and they believe it, building a relationship where they'll open up and tell you the truth so you can ask some key questions and listen very carefully to their answers before you even waste time telling stories. And there's only 3 questions you have to ask. Here's the magic of conversational prospecting. All of us by the age of 18, we've had in-depth, intimate conversations with people in our life, our families, our parents, our friends, our brothers, our sisters, and our best friends about the boyfriends or girlfriends we broke up with or they disappointed or whatever it was. By 18, we are expert conversationalists. I don't need to train you. You're already good at it. It's what you've done. You're a human being. And so all I need to redirect your expertise to the fact that in this conversation focusing on others, there are 3 questions you need to eventually work in. And I say eventually because it doesn't mean you call somebody up you haven't spoken to in 10 years, say, hey, listen, I haven't caught up with you in forever. I got 3 questions I need to ask you. It doesn't work. You may have to spend months in phone calls and going out to lunch with somebody, rebuilding a relationship that has existed, but it just got a little stale because you hadn't spoken to him in 10 years. Before you're ever in a position to ask these questions. In other words, I want to share with you a concept of filling a massive funnel and pipeline of conversations that are connecting and creating relationships. Now, sometimes it can happen really quick. Why? Because these are my relationships that I've kept actively involved with, and I mean, it takes 2 seconds to just get these questions out, and boom, they're ready to go. Some people I've got to go build a relationship with, and it'll take months. But I've got hundreds of people at some point in my funnel process. Some of whom are just emerging in the relationship. Some who are 10 seconds in, but they're all ready to go for these questions. But there are 3 simple questions that help you identify who is potentially the right person. So, are you happy? Pretty simple question. Now, it's not really are you happy, it's are you satisfied and content with every single thing in your life? Another question, another thought of what this question really is, back you ask this way. You know, Ricky, as you stand right now, you know, life, kids, great life, but here's the question. Do you right now as you stand there have every single thing in life you've ever dreamed of even possibly wanting to have? And the answer for everybody to that question, including Warren Buffett, by the way, is no. Everybody. That is the answer. That is the actual honest, truthful answer. If somebody truly understood the question, really thought about it, and was willing to be honest with you, for every human being on the planet, the answer is no. Even someone like Warren Buffett. Because I didn't ask if you want more money? He'd probably say, I'm pretty good there. I asked, do you have everything in life you've everything? I didn't say material things. I didn't say fancy car. I said, do you have everything in life you could ever dream of wanting right now? And in Warren Buffett's case, he doesn't, and he won't until the day he dies, because he wants significance. He truly in his heart wants to make the most positive, significant impact on the planet Earth he can. That's why he's made so much money in the investment side, but that's why he's giving so much money to his own foundations through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, just to contribute to the improvement of the planet. And that's why he works so hard, because to him it's not work. He is building significance. He wants to create more significance. See, there are 3 stages of life. There's survival. I need food, clothing, shelter. Great, we got that one conquered. Then I want success. Well, that's different for everybody, so you define your own. But once you've got success, you go, okay, well, now what do I want? I want significance. I want to have made a difference. If all you do is have a child and raise that child properly, you can create a great significance in the planet. So the reality is, the truth to this question, a truly connected relationship question where I'm really asking, because I want to know. It's not about me. I'm not trying to sell Modera. I'm not trying to grow. I'm not a team member. You're a human being. I truly care about you as a human being. And so this is all about you, not me. Forget what I'm doing. Seriously, truly, as you stand there, do you have everything in life you've ever dreamed or you imagined having? I already know the answer is no. I didn't ask the question because I really need the answer. I need you in your head to connect to the fact that no, you don't. Then the second question is very simple. Great. Got a plan? Do you have a plan? Well, because if you don't have it, you're never going to get there without a plan. See, the reason, and by the way, you don't have to be at that destination of having had everything you could ever imagine to be happy. If you know that you have a specific plan that you're following that is getting you there, people are not afraid of work. I'll do the work, and I've still got years of work. I'm good with it, and I feel great about it because I actually can see myself actually getting there. You know what? 99% of the people, Warren Buffett, his answer to that, yeah, I got a plan. By the way, that's why you would actually never be able to enter a conversation spending much time asking Warren Buffett these questions, because he doesn't have time to waste about this kind of stuff because he has got a plan and he's working it. You want to know why I know you don't have a plan? Because you're sitting here talking to me. I already knew you didn't have a plan because the minute you said you don't have this, I knew you didn't have a plan because you're talking to me. See, Warren's not here, but he wouldn't have time to talk because he's spending time being significant. I didn't ask the question because I need the answer. I need you to connect with it because I need to be able to ask the third question, because here's where I find out if you are or are not potentially the right person. Do you want to see one? Would you like to see a plan? Because you know something? If you're not where you are and you don't have a specific plan, if you don't even go looking, you're never going to get there. And if you're not willing to choose to look, because I'm not going to pitch it. I'm not going to waste time talking about anything unless I've found out that A, you have identified, you're willing to admit that you don't have everything you've ever wanted, or you haven't even dreamed big enough to imagine the things you don't have that you might want if you just dream big enough. So I just need to know, have you done that? Are you this kind of person? Do you know you're not where you need to be? Great. Do you have a plan? I need you to admit, no, I don't. Great. You want to see one? I'm just going to give you a choice, and I don't care which one you pick, because I really don't. I sincerely, truly don't, because it's your life. You're an adult, and I truly do make it about them. I truly show enough respect for others. I respect your decision. If you don't have what you want, you don't have a plan, and you choose not to look at one, I'm okay with that. I will respect your choice as an adult to not look, because I'm looking for those who are willing to look. Now, what you should do is when you get to that point, well, would you like to see a plan? My partner Lisa has one of the best approaches here because it takes pressure off. People don't want to be pitched and sold. They hate being sold. That's why the greatest salespeople, you never feel like you're getting sold. If you feel like you're getting sold, you resist and walk away. So here's what Lisa says, well, would you like to see a plan? Here's what she says, and if you want to go back and re-listen to this, you'll be able to jot it down. She says, well, would you like to see a plan? Now, it probably isn't for you, but I'm sure you'll love the products. Everybody does. She starts that way. Why does she say that? Because it probably isn't for them. There is no plan, including Modera, including network marketing, that is for everybody. Not everybody in the world should be a doctor, because who would drive the ambulance? Not everybody in the world should be a lawyer, because who would be the school teacher? And not everybody in the world should be a network marketer. They really shouldn't. Statistically, the averages are that over time, 7 out of 10 say no, and 3 out of 10 say yes. You know, about 1 out of 4, 2.5. You can't split people in half. So let's say 3 and 7. That's really the numbers. So you know something? She just tells people the truth. Why? Because she respects them. So would you like to see a plan? It's probably not for you, because she's just playing the odds. It's probably not for them. But I'm sure you'll love the products. Everybody does. Why do we say that? Because I'm sure you'll love the products. Everybody. Why? Because I have great products. Because if I don't believe in my products, again, remember, I should quit and go do something else. If you don't believe in the Modera product, well, because they are good products. And part of evaluating any business model would be trying the product. So if they're going to try the product, they're probably going to like it. But why do I say, I'm sure you'll love the product? Because everybody does. Because that is a plant in their brain that if they ever decide they don't want to use the products, they're not like everybody. In human behavior, people like to be like everybody else. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to be unusually nonconformist. So that's the magical psychology of the comment. So it takes 3 seconds. So would you like to see a plan? You know, it's probably not for you, but well, I'm sure you'll love the products. Everybody does. But if you do see what I saw, once you've evaluated it, and if you do believe it could be a plan that would work for you, then I think together we could team up and do amazing things. In fact, let me tell you what I was able to do in my first 24 to 72 hours when I first started with no previous experience. You see, that's why the first thing we do with new people is we take them through Hot Market, so that through instinct and no training, they can immediately, with just a few hours of effort over 1 or 2 days, if they need that amount of time, they created a personal success story. You know why? You don't have to be a Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins smooth presenter, because it's not presentation. You're already an expert conversationalist in your own way. Even if you're shy and timid, you're an expert conversationalist. Even if you don't tell the story well, you'll always tell it perfectly right, because it's your story. Ever heard a good joke, really laughed hard, turned to someone 2 seconds later to tell them the joke, and you couldn't really remember it? Why? It wasn't your joke. It was somebody else's joke. You simply heard it. But if it was your joke, you remember it every time. When you hear other people's stories at first, unless you literally take notes, write them down, and practice them, which, by the way, all the great networking, leadership, and elite top earners have done in their career. They have literally heard stories. They've either pressed a phone recorder and said, ooh, could you share that again? They've immediately whipped out a piece of paper and wrote down, saying, now, really, what was their name? How old were they? What did they do? They were a school teacher. What happened to them? They literally recorded it. Because the greatest network marketers, when they hear great stories, they latch onto them, because they realize asking questions, listening, we're all good at that by 18. But becoming a master storyteller, how do you do that? You start by creating your own, and then you learn how to tell others. But you got to collect them. But the magic for a brand new person with only a couple hours, a couple of days, they can always tell their story. So they don't need to know the product. They don't have to know the comp plan. They have a simple conversation, and in the conversation, by the way, you don't actually ask the question. It's the theme of the conversation. In the conversational theme, once I know we've got a great connection, then I can start to ask things like, I had someone ask me a question a year ago. They asked me if I had everything in life I'd ever dreamed of having, and I said, well, what do you mean by everything? He said, really? No limit, just everything. And I started thinking about it, and I realized, no, gosh, I had hardly anything. Have you ever felt like that? See, that's a way to ask it. I just said I was a person who suddenly realized through someone asking me an innocent question that, man, I didn't have anything in life I'd ever thought I was going to have when I was 16 years old and thought the world was magic. Have you ever felt like that? And I don't have to put them on the spot. I have to say, so, got everything in life you ever wanted? As if when they say no, well, wow, how bad are you? It's about relating to people. So it's the theme of the conversation. Here's how I used to feel. Have you ever felt like that? You have? Great, because I need to connect them to the fact they don't have everything. Well, they then asked me if I had a plan that was getting me there, and I realized I didn't have a clue how I would ever get any of that stuff. Have you ever felt like that? So when you learn to become a master of conversation, you learn how to relate to people and how to help them be comfortable, because I truly want you to do this. Got a plan? Nope. Got happy? Nope. Got a plan? Nope. Want to see one? Probably not for you, though I'm sure you'll love the products. Everybody does. But, if you take the time to look at it, if you see what I see, and if it, makes sense for you the way it did for me, I think together we could kill it. In fact, let me tell you what happened to me in just my first, 2 to 3 days when I started operating this plan with I've got coaches and mentors who are helping me, because they really are coaching me every step. But in just the first couple of days, I moved over $1,500 product via text without even having to talk to people. And some of the people closest to me, they loved this stuff so much, they just kept texting me back, thank you, it was amazing. And now this person goes, really? Really? You did that? Yes. Sure, I'll take a look at it. Now, not going to guarantee I'm going to do it. Well, no guarantee. It's all up to you. You're the one who's going to have to decide if you think the plan's good for you, not me. Like I said, it's probably not for you. It's really not a plan that works for everybody, but you'll have to decide. But great, you want them to take a look? Good. At which point, you don't tell them anything. Your job is, when you're prospecting, is to find someone who's interested in looking. Tell them your story, and then listen carefully, because this is critically important. Network marketing is based on teams. If you operate it as a soloist, you're going to fail quit now and just stop. Just stop being frustrated. Stop talking to people. Just stop. If you're going to continue to operate as an individual, get out of network marketing. It is a team sport. It's like baseball. You can be the pitcher or you can be the catcher, but you can't be both unless you are really fast. Usain Bolt, and even he couldn't catch his own pitch. So the point is this: either be on the team or get off the team. And what that means is this: when you are prospecting, you are not informing. Hence, the best way to build the business rapidly, you do not have to learn to begin the team building process, which starts with conversational prospecting. Because the person who prospects is not the person who informs. The person who prospects is the person who asks the big three. The minute someone says, sure, I'll take a look, even if you're a multi-million-dollar earner, you share with them because you want to help them. And even if you're a multi-million-dollar earner, then share with them, well, you know, I'm kind of new at this, so if I ... will you ... That's it. Eric Worre teaches this. Eric Worre's GoPro Systems, his book GoPro, one of the most magical process execution books of the proper, the 7 skills to be a master networker. It's a great book. And one of the things he's always talks about is the greatest way to prospect for someone who's inexperienced to then learn is if I will you. And here's why. Then let me share the story of what I did. Oh, really? You're able to do that? Yeah. Well, great. I'll take a look. Great. Then if I will you, if I point you at our team site, will you watch the video at 17 minutes or 12 minutes or 3 or if I hand you this DVD or if I whatever it is, if I will you, they say sure, then you immediately throw them or point them to what I like to call the information circle. You take them to step 1, whatever it is. There's the team, this team. Peyton and Ricky, they've done this a long time, and through the growth of the team and the experience and through actual data and changes and evolution, and it's always the constant process of getting better. But bottom line, we got, here's the steps. You do this, 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 and this. If someone says sure, they'll take a look. Always make sure they do this first, then they do this second, then they do this third, and they do this fourth. For example, then step 3, put them on a 3-way with your upline team mentor and coach, or with me or whatever. But don't ever put them on the phone with me if they haven't watched the video and seen the thing. Why? Why would you waste my time? If they look at the video and they say, I have no interest, I don't want to talk to anybody about this any further, why would we all waste time? It's their choice. They are no longer the potentially right person. See, the potentially right person first says, yes, I'll take a look. The potentially right person says, sure, I'll go through step 1. The potentially right person says, sure, I'll take a look at step 2. The potentially right person says, sure, I'll take a look at step 3. The potentially right person, they will all have questions. Part of the process is getting their questions answered through these steps. By the way, you are the person who prospected them. Why does a brand new person not have to learn anything? This is why teamwork follows the perfect fundamental laws of human behavior, which we talked about in section 1 on Hot Market. You see, do you know how babies grow up? Do you know how they learn to talk? They don't sit there and study the language for 15 years, never uttering a word, and on their 15th birthday suddenly speak fluently. They just get into it. They're just hanging out with people speaking. They start babbling and muttering unintelligibly until all of a sudden they get out a word, mama, papa, and all of a sudden, by 1, they're speaking 2 or 3 words. By 3, they're rattling along. And by 5, you can't get them to shut up. How do children learn to walk? They don't sit there and read and study and watch intently for 15 years, never getting out of the seated position, and on the 15th birthday just stand up and go walk. They're stumbling. That's network marketing. You don't have to know anything because you're not supposed to do it. There's a whole team of product experts. There's a whole team of comp plan experts. There's a whole team of opportunity presentation webinar experts. That's not you. You're supposed to care enough. You're supposed to be interested in other people enough to have a conversation, make a connection, build a relationship, show enough respect to ask them 3 simple things. Happy? Nope. Got a plan? Nope. Want to see one? Probably not for you. I'm sure you'll love the product. Everybody does. But let me share with you what happened to me. And if you see what I see, I think together we could do great. So if I will you, that's it. You're done. Your job is over. Stop. Point them at the information circle. stay on your side of the line. And now, with a very intent eye, and an eye like, pay attention to what's going on and watch the team system, watch the team webinars, watch the team hangouts, watch the team conference calls, watch the leadership, listen to them in the 3 ways, and like a child, become an expert by putting hundreds of people through the process. And when they come out and get all their questions answered, guess what? One of 2 things is going to happen. We're going to give them a choice. So, does it make sense? Did you understand it? Yep. What did you like most about what you saw? In each step, we ask them those things. Did it make sense? Did you understand it? Because nobody can make a good decision if they don't understand it. So I truly am asking, you watch the video, did it make sense? Did you understand it? No, I didn't. What part didn't you understand? This part. Oh, yeah, I didn't either. Here, let me put you in touch with somebody who's still coaching me on that, because I'm still a little iffy on that one. Here, let me put you in touch. Here, watch this and listen to this or talk to this or whatever. They're the expert in that, and let's see if we can get that figured out. And then get out of the way and watch the expert do it. But bottom line, once they've asked all the questions, they're going to come out. Because then you say, great, well, now that now that you've got all the information, do you see any reason why you wouldn't want to just get started as a Modere team member and start social marketing with us and help, let us help you walk this plan and go towards the life you deserve? And they'll say, they have 2 choices. Say, no, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't want to get started. Well, great, let's get you started and let's get you on the right path, and boom. They say, no, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't want to start. Well, great, let's get you going. You just said yes. The only other choice they have is, yeah, I do have a reason not to get started. What's that? Well, I don't understand this comp model thing I saw in that video. Oh, great, let me redirect you. In other words, you just direct into the information circle and let the team process take over. And eventually they come out and say, so do you see any reason why you wouldn't want to do this? Yeah, what's that? I understand it. I got it all. It's not for me. Great. Let me show you how you can at least be a preferred customer, because obviously you see why these products are so great. And let it go. Honor their decision. About 7 out of 10, that's what they're going to pick. And about 3 out of 10, over here, they're going to say, yeah, no, I don't see any reason. I'm so excited about this. Let's get going. Great. Here's where the new person steps back in. Then great. Let's get you enrolled. And the person who, introduced you, Billy, who's only been with us for 4 days, he's going to show you the first step because he already completed it and he's an expert in it. In other words, when I take a brand new person and I enroll them, and the first thing I do with them properly is Hot Market, they can immediately use the power of the story, following the concepts of conversation and connection, and asking questions. They can immediately go into prospecting. Because their job isn't to be the expert, their job is to simply find people who would be willing to look at something that might give them a greater life and watch the experts. And those few out of 10 who say yes, who make that choice, then they can step back in and take them through the first stage because they've already done it. They're an expert. In other words, the magic of this model is a brand new person needs to know nothing to go into success action. And the way you need to think about it is, to be a top-tier performer, there's 1,000 things you need to be good at over your career. Well, if we start you right, you're good at step 1 within 1 to 2 hours. Well, guess what? You're now forevermore going to be the step 1 instructor, and you're still the step 2 through 1,000 student. Well, great. Now we're immediately going to take you with no real necessary detailed education, because you don't have to learn the products, you don't have to learn the comp plan. We've already got all the experts for that. We're going to show you real quick how to get into good conversation, because it's something you've already done. We're going to show you how to consciously do it in a way that leads to success in network marketing. Now we're immediately going to set you loose on conversational prospecting, because as you do it, you'll get better at it. And as soon as you have the first person say, sure, I'll take a look, great. You're now the coach of step 1 and step 2. Conversational, I'll take a look at it, part of prospecting, because you already know how to do that. But you're still step 3 through 1,000 student. And now you're going to be watching all the people you take through, and over time, suddenly you're going to become a product teacher, because you've seen it 100 times, just the way children learn to speak. It becomes natural. And so what happens is, organically over your career, you become a natural power networker. You don't have to work at it because it's already based on human behavior. With this done, let me step back and I want to show you something. let's come all the way back to the beginning, because I want to show you something, because here's really the magic. If you do this right and use the laws of human behavior in alignment with the laws of business, you understand the principles of marketing, and you follow this simple mechanism, let's go back to someone being prospected. So let's say that Peyton is prospecting Ricky. Ricky starts right here. And Peyton is brand new. Peyton just signed up a few days ago, a week ago, a couple weeks ago. He executed the hot market. It took him actually 5 days because he had a couple of business meetings. He was really tied up. And just went out, and Ricky was one of the first people he just started engaging in conversation because he was so excited about his hot market success, and because we sat down with Peyton and we walked him through, look, you're not pitching, you're not presenting, don't do those things. Just go out and just find out if anybody, find out who you can run into that might be interested in looking at something shared by experts that might be of interest, just in case. Let's see. And so if Peyton prospected properly, asked the questions, Ricky said, okay, no guarantee, but I'll look. Great. Let me tell you what happened to me in my first, few hours of effort. Wow, really? Yeah. So if I will you, and Ricky said sure. So he started to take a look. Peyton stepped back. He just watched. Ricky came out of the video, had a couple questions. Peyton pointed him at the next tool. He looked at that. Then Peyton said, great, you got questions. Let me introduce you to my upline mentor and my mentor, my Modera social marketing mentor coach, and listened while all the three-way calls got the questions answered and that kind of stuff. And Peyton just watched. And then all of a sudden, Ricky was one of the specials. He was one of the smallest percentage. He was one of the three who said, sure, I'll do it. And then I told Peyton, hey, Peyton, step back in, take Ricky through hot market, okay? And so then Ricky goes through hot market, and boom, he gets to right here. And Peyton and Ricky and I, we sit down together because Ricky just completed hot market. We're all excited, and so we sit down on a hangout, or we haven't been in the same town, and we actually go meet at Starbucks or something. Now, understand, Ricky's only been in the business. It's the first time he's ever done network marketing. He's been in the business for a couple of days. At this moment right here, I could look at Ricky and say, Ricky, you may not, well, I know that you're not consciously aware of it, but I know this has seemed so simple, but that's what we do. We just teach simple things. But right now, at this very moment, you are perfectly trained with the only things you need to know to be a six-figure per year earner in network marketing. There's nothing else. There is nothing else that you need to learn. Now, you're not, the things you've already learned, the challenge is you're not consciously aware that you really are a six-figure capable earner right now. So I'm going to help you become consciously aware of it, and you're not as polished at it as you're going to be naturally over time with no complicated effort. It's very simple. But let me walk you through it, and I'll share with you what I mean, because I'm not kidding. Really, at that moment, if he was prospected properly, 24 hours in, he completes hot market, he is a six-figure earner. He just doesn't realize it. Now, he's got to make the choice to go do the work to make it happen. But he is. Because I sat back and say, Ricky, remember when Peyton called you? And, you guys are pretty good friends, go way back, but he called you, and remember he had that conversation, we talked about it at one point where he just called you up, and you guys just started talking about life and living and what's going on and where things were. And remember he kind of asked about, where you were in life, and if you had everything, or if not, if you had a plan, and if not, maybe if you'd like to see one. Do you remember how he had that conversation with you? Yeah, I do. Well, would that be something that you'd be willing to do with people that you come across, that you care about? Would you be willing to just have conversations with people? Not about Modera, not about products, just conversations about who they are and where they are in life, and really just focus on them and connect with them and really care about them, and just see if they don't have a plan for their life and the happiness they deserve, if they'd like to see one. Would you be willing to do that? Just ask people if they'd like to see a plan, and just leave it up to them. Many will say no, but just, would you be willing to do that? Well, sure. Well, great. If they say they would be willing to look at it, would you be willing to tell them? Remember how remember how Peyton told you a story of what he did in his first 24 to 72 hours? How he kind of moved that product just like you just did, and how excited he was. Do you remember he told you that story? Yeah, I do. That actually interested me the most. Yeah, I know you'd mentioned that. Well, would you be willing to tell your story of what you just did in the last couple of days? Would you just tell people what you did? Sure, that's it. That's all you do. Just tell them. You don't need to tell them anything. Just tell them what happened to you. Yeah, great. And then remember, he asked you, he said, if he would show you something, would you start the process of learning? And remember, he pointed you at that team video we've got on that website or whatever. He said, yeah. And then do you remember, if you think back, it may not have been as clear, but do you remember if you really think about it, did you see that Peyton really didn't do anything after that, but just keep pointing you at information and introducing you to us, the team mentors and the team coaches, and then just letting us work with you? Yeah. Would you be willing to do that? Because since you're brand new and you don't know a lot, it's all still new to you. Would you be willing, if they say they'll look and you share the story and then you point them, everybody, we do all the same in our team, everything, it's always the same. It's always the same because it's simple and it's simple and uncomplicated for people. So would you be willing to point them at video number one, and then would you just be willing to guide them through the process, and to us, the team mentors, and would you just be willing to listen and learn like Peyton did? Sure, great. Because we want you to understand that, Ricky, you're actually one of the special ones, because only about 3 out of 10 will say yes, that they want to do this with us. 7 out of 10 don't. So I need you to understand that up front. The majority of people, this really isn't the best plan. But the great thing is we've at least gotten them looking at a plan, and since this isn't for them, they can check it off, and we can wish them truly great fortune in life, as maybe they're in the plan searching mode, and maybe they'll go find the plan that's good for them. So, I mean, that's great. Even when they say, no, we did a good job. But you're really one of the elite ones. You're one of the few who said yes. But if, as people look, if you find some people like us who see what we see and they say yes, would you be willing? Because you remember how Peyton stepped right in and he taught you Hot Market, and then you went and did it. Would you be willing to teach them Hot Market? Yeah. Well, good, because then once you teach them Hot Market, would you be willing to teach them how to have conversations that you're going to start doing now? You would? That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else you need to learn, because you'll be a product expert when you've heard it hundreds of times. And one day you'll be able to teach people the product as part of the team system. You won't teach it to yours, but you'll teach other people's prospects the product section the day that you come up to us and say you want to. So don't worry about it now. You'll know when it's right. Could be a week, could be a month, could be 3 years, could be never. We'll let you choose, because there's nothing else you need to know to make 6 figures in this business except how to have conversations, how to ask questions, put them into the system. The ones who say yes, teach them Hot Market, and then teach them how to do the same thing. And let the team experts in product and comp plan and team building and Super Saturday trainings and all those things, let the team experts do that. And as you find over time, you'll become the expert in those areas you're most comfortable with, like all kids do when they grow up and they end up finding the things they're comfortable with. And that's what we'll do. That's the system. See, that's network marketing, because marketing is not about selling. It's about getting people to try through interest to develop consumers who products turn into customers. It's basically the same thing. The network marketing side of prospecting is engaging with people to find out where they are, to see if they would have an interest in looking, and then stepping out and letting the system take them through. Why? Because if the system is followed by everyone, to get better result, you don't have to get better, the system gets improved. So the videos get better, the tutorials get better, the conference calls, webinars, they get better because everybody gets better. You don't have to be better, the whole thing gets better, and you'll be better in the process. So there you go, Ricky. That's conversational prospecting versus sales pitching, which people hate, which never works and is not sustainable. And that's how the two of them together work like hand in glove. And when you do it this way, that's how you can take brand new, have never had experienced people, and you can move them into success action through Hot Market right away. That's excitement and success confidence can take them right into prospecting, because it's not selling. It's giving people a choice. And if you truly in your heart love to help people, that's all you're doing. I'm going to give you an opportunity to make a choice that no one may have ever given you before in life, and no matter what you choose, that is helping you. And if you choose no, I respect that. If you choose that yes, I know where to take you next. And every step along the way, we will respect you and give you the right to make a choice. We're looking for those who eventually choose the way we chose. And the rest, we love, we bless, we wish great things, because things may change in their life and they may come back. And the reason they come back is because we treated them with respect the first time when the timing wasn't right. And then when the timing has changed, they remember that we treated them with respect and we didn't beat them down and pitch and shove it down their throat. And they come back and say, you know, something's changed in my life. Are you still doing that? Why, yes, I am. Is it still working? Oh, it's working wonderfully. I'd like to look at it. And so we just give choices and respect choices. And that's how network marketing is supposed to be. And then as a team, with the magic products, the huge diversity, the great strength of Modere, you guys can crush it. So there you go. That's the model. And
Awesome. Well, you know, what I love about this is, you know, in network marketing, for those that are just brand new or who have been in for some time, the whole purpose is for us to really create an income that one day, if we choose to, we can walk away and we can still receive an income for life or pass it on to our kids or their kids, and that can only be created through a simple system that everyone can follow from day one. And so what I love about what Curtis is explaining here is that all we have to get good at is doing hot market, having great conversations, and teaching everyone else to do the same thing. And we do that over and over and over again. And one of the things that even Lisa had brought up to me, Curtis, and maybe you could explain a little bit about this before we wrap it up here, but you know, in June 20th, here in about six weeks, we're going to be releasing a new product, and it's going to be an anti-aging product. And so I know that as we all get into this hot market system, you know, it's not something that we only have to do one time. I mean, we can continue to do it over and over again with new product launches or new innovations or whatever it is. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit, Curtis, when a new product launches, how you can go ahead and use the hot market system again to revamp and, you know, triple or quadruple the volume of the organization?
Sure. Well, let's step back for an example. Let's take the story I told you in the previous section about hot market training, about the young girl, the university student who had, you know, moved $5,000 for product, moved 100 units in 10 days just via texting because she kept going through her phone. She didn't just stop when she moved the 10 units in the original package or whatever it was. She just kept plowing. Well, understand what you're really building is you're building with people who love you, with people who care about you, with people who would get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning to come pick you up if your car broke down. With that kind of relationship caliber group of people, you've created this trial consumer group. And you've told them it's entirely your choice. I just need you to do it once because we are so close. You will be brutally gut-wrenching, no holds barred, no shading, you know, honest and blunt, both good and bad, which is what I need because I need that feedback to build the marketing to help me succeed. And it's just one time. If you like the product, hey, I'll show you how to do it forever, but that's your choice. I just need to do it one time. You're simply going back and saying, listen, as part of my trial consumer group, we're launching another product. Again, it's a brand new product and it's just coming in the market, so I would really enjoy your help if you would just try that one time. Your feedback last time was so great. I know now you love the shampoo and conditioner. I think you're going to love this as much. So can I count on you to be one of my? Because I need trial every time we release these products. I just need a trial consumer group. Can I count on you to be one of those? I think you're going to love it. Here's the price. Here's its value. It does all this stuff. The science is whatever it is. Well, you've already got a built-in group. So why? Well, I did my package one time, and I'm just going to do my $40 auto ship. Okay. Well, what if your entire team just contacted their hot market and said, thanks for giving me the feedback on the last one, but I need to build a marketing program around the new one. Can I count on you to maybe be part of my trial consumer group there? And what if everybody in your group moved another $3,000 of product? And every time a product came out, and then you even go back through the catalog that's been there forever and say, you know, here's a really cool product. Hey, listen, we've had this product for a couple of years, but I've never really focused on marketing it. I'm thinking I'm going to start marketing it, but I really need that trial consumer group. In other words, once you've built a hot market trial consumer group, you can go back and move them into other products in the catalog. Every time so imagine if it wasn't just when a brand new person enrolled, they moved a larger amount of product one time. What if your concept was, I've built, you know, it's like I said, it's like focus groups. Their organizations, Procter & Gamble, they have focus groups on every product they bring out. Start thinking like regular, like business. You've built a focus group. If you don't think the product has value, why are you in the company? If you do, why would you not contact your hot market and say, I'd love you to be a part of my next trial consumer focus group? Here's another product. Boom, buy it, try it one time. Don't like it, never have to do it again. You do like it? Great, get a great deal. It's not a sales pitch. Hey, here we go. That's what I would do. So you build a team mentality. Previous product catalogs beyond these 4 items are large volume consumer movement opportunities, which is just huge income for the whole team, and it's a huge benefit for the consumer. And every new product, why would you just, you know, so if you get that mentality, you can build this. At that point, I'd almost create a group texting machine, and I've got 400 people in my trial consumer group, and I said, wait, hey, boom, we're launching a new product, need another consumer group, need 15 or 20, can I count on you to be one of them? Bam! What is it? Sure. If it was as good as the last one, oh, I think it's better. And is everybody going to do it? No. But if you build this consumer group, imagine what could happen. Every new product, you're just moving massive product, but your whole team is. And Modere suddenly goes, boy, I don't know what's going on with this Modern Legacy team. These people are cranking it.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here, Curtis. Thank you so much. I mean, that helps. Again, this will be on the team site, and I just recommend. well, not recommend. We're gonna go for a challenge tomorrow on the Facebook group page. I'm gonna be throwing out a video, and we'll do some promotions or some incentives, and we'll really get this thing cranking. So, Curtis, thank you so much for your time.
Listen, as we wrap this up, just by the way, I'm a big believer, as you know, we all lead from the front, and that is that sometimes we gotta, sometimes people put you on spot, but I thought it was so cool, the story you shared last time. You sent out 5 texts, and 3 people said, yeah, and one of them even said, hey, can I get somebody else to help you too? So you moved 4 on 5. And I remember that I asked, I said, well, how many numbers do you think if you actually kept going? She said that you got 150. So I'm sure in the Facebook group, Rick will be giving you updates about the results of all 150 texts that he said as the leader he's going to be stepping up. And Peyton hadn't really said anything yet, but I'm sure he'll be posting a Facebook group how many people, having gone through his phone from A to Z, he says, oh, I think I got at least 180 or 200 or whatever it is. I think these guys will be posting how many they think they can get in the next week, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how it
No, we're going to get this thing cranking and get a lot of testimonials on this hot market system. So definitely always leading from the front, making things happen. So I'm excited that we had the team plugging in. Thank you again so much, Curtis, and tell Lisa thanks for her help as well. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up here.
All right, be fun to watch. You guys go crush it.
Thank you so much.